Hello and welcome to Janette's TV Podcast. I'm your host, Janette Burke, live on location at the Promenade Mall for the Royal Canadian Circus. We are so glad to have Joseph Bauer back. He is our ringmaster, and we're doing a little thing different today because, as you might recall, we've interviewed Joseph a couple times before. And today it's kind of like behind the scenes. It's the morning of the circus. He's going to have how many shows today?
Yeah, we have 1 and 5 o'clock, 2 shows today. So this is our final day in this location. So we're starting to do like a little ninja prep, getting ready for teardown, you know.
So it's really interesting to know about what goes on behind the circus as much as it does to know what goes on during the circus. Tell me a little bit about your day and your life. You know, I mean, you're not all in your ringmaster outfit yet.
There's a lot of
but
work.
I want to hear what goes on, like, you know, how you travel, how the show gets prepared, how all this tent gets, you know, ripped up, teared down onto the next location. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, our days are always starting very early, no matter what. No matter what you do in the circus, everyone has a job that starts early in the morning. And then, you know, when we're in a location for more than 4 days, 5 days, we have a little more time to go out and visit and see the city. But normally it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then on Sunday night, our amazing tent crew, which takes down that big top, which has lighting and sound and 2,700 seats, all comes down, and by 3 o'clock in the morning, it's all packed up. And the next day, we are moving to our next location. So it's a lot. We travel with these beautiful RVs.
Yeah. Describe to me like your typical day. I mean, you're working now in Canada from, you were here from what, June to, you stayed till October, right?
And then we stayed to September 7th in the Toronto area. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we go to the United States to do some locations there. And then in the winter, a lot of the artists will go freelance, we call it, going to different shows and stuff like that. I host also a show down in Sarasota, Florida called Circus Sarasota. It's an international troupe of artists for 1 month that I host, and our Ring of Fame. We have a Ring of Fame down in Sarasota.
That sounds so much fun.
People get inducted into this amazing community of, you know, there's people there like Gunther Gable Williams, big names, Cecil B. DeMille, you know, are in that same Ring of Fame. And so I've been, the past 5 years, I've been honored to be asked to host that.
So what do you like more, life on the road or life when you're sort of parked in Sarasota for a few months?
Well, everything has its, you know, of course I love being out on the road. I have a beautiful home down in Florida that we winter because of the weather and everything, that it's great for us. But it's a two-way thing. I can only be home a certain amount of time, and then we get that itch to get back in the trailer and see beautiful Canada. You know?
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the circus itself, because it's a little different this year. You got a whole bunch of new acts. The company itself is under new management. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with the whole circus thing? Is it getting harder, easier, shows?
Well, you know, it's a competitive field like anything else, you know, and really our family and our management, it's basically stayed the same. We just have, you know, reached out and tried some different marketing for our show to find different ways to do it to accommodate the more modern lifestyle, you know. And so, yeah, it is. It's, you know, we have to keep up with the times. We bring back also a lot of serious tradition in this show.
Right, nostalgia,
yeah,
because...
this year is an exception because we have an act in the circus that's probably one of the most traditional acts. That's the flying trapeze. And if you remember the movie Trapeze with Tony Curtis, you know,
I don't.
Burt Lancaster.
It's a little before my time, but I'll look it up.
It celebrated 70 years this year that the movie Trapeze was, you know, blown up in the movies. And so what we do is we have the flying trapeze again in the show, and we also do the triple somersault every single performance.
Yeah, I saw that last night. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So I think it's great that you hold on to a little bit of nostalgia for the, you know, the over 40 crowd who has memories of, like, going to the circus was a summer staple, you know, something that I did every year. My dad used to buy tickets and we would go. And this was, you know, a fond memory. And I think people in my generation have that memory, and they look for specific things. Now, one thing I remember, which I know is no longer allowed, is the animal acts. And, you know, without them, you know, how do you create a show without that? And how do you, what do you take into consideration when you're like, oh, I've got to change this act, or I've got to add something else? You know,
people
what
comment. People comment, and when we weigh it out, and we find out that, you know, even though I strongly believe that people were misled a lot of times about the animals. I don't believe that if you, let's just say you go to a bad Italian restaurant, but the one next door is really fantastic and has everything right up to par, it doesn't mean all Italian restaurants are not good. And that is the only thing I have to dispute. We did years ago, you know, our owner, Tarzan Zerbini, was on the Ed Sullivan Show. He was on all these major TV shows with his 22 male lions. And, you know, he was Bill Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, and that was in at that time. And then we found out that, you know, times were changing. People wanted to see less of the animals in the circus. And you know what? We have a sanctuary down in Florida called Two Tails Ranch, where a lot of the retired elephants are down there, where people can go and see them. And it's a fabulous thing.
I need to get back to Florida.
Absolutely. And we support, you know, all these animal sanctuaries, because it's very important that they get well taken care of. But right now, this type of show is what's in, and it is still a traditional circus. It has all the sights and sounds, all the magnificent performers from all over the world, quick change acts that have been on America's Got Talent. So there's still something for everybody in our show. You know?
And Joseph, not only has the show changed, but your role in the show has also changed. You're still the Ringmaster. And you still have the most gorgeous costumes I've ever seen. I was trying to.
Yeah, right now I'm
well,
not in them,
you know
but-
what? I've got pictures, and we're gonna have anyway. Cutaway.
Sure.
I was actually like, you were standing in front of me, and I saw one of your costumes, and I was trying to capture it on like a picture quick. I couldn't do it as much justice as I had wanted to, but I see those outfits, and I'm thinking to myself, God, they are so gorgeous. The hours that must have work that must go into. And I know you told me once before your wife does a lot of that work.
She does a lot of the wardrobe for our show, and for me, I also have some other people out in Las Vegas that do some work for me, and I have an amazing lady here in Toronto that made the red costume that you see at the opening of the show.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
She's from Russia, and she's just absolutely fabulous. And she's actually the aunt of the boy you saw on the rolla bola and the foot juggling. It's his aunt.
Oh,
and
wow.
so, yeah, my costumes are very important, because for 2 hours and 10 minutes you have to watch me introduce these acts. And I think it's important that maybe if I have something a little different to look at, it doesn't become a little...
They're so mesmerizing. I look at them and I go, you know, I have to go to red carpets and I want gowns, and I'm like, wow, that black thing and this with this gold, I like that. I think I would like to, you know, incorporate a little bit of that into some wear for the red carpet.
Why not? Change it up a little bit.
And so something else that's a little different for you this year is that you're no longer doing that death wheel.
The Wheel of Death, yes.
The Wheel of Death.
The Wheel and I were together for over 30 years, and we went all over the world. I was the first wheel act to perform with the Cirque du Soleil for many years ago. And I was invited to the Circus Festival in Monte Carlo, where I won a prestigious award there. I hit all the places. I got to tour in Canada for most of the time. Most of my performances were in Canada, of course. And the audience still asks me when I'm there just before the show, making sure everybody's seated properly, oh, we're going to see the wheel. But there comes a time where you say, you know, I'm reaching a certain age. I'm a grandfather now. And
wow, you look really good for grandpa.
Time to keep my feet on the ground.
But yet your wife, who's also a part of the circus, is still doing Ariel and doing it beautifully.
Yes, and she has multi-talents up in the air. She's done 3 different types of disciplines in the circus, and you see her in the middle of that number with all those girls with all that beautiful Mexican number, which we tribute to Mexico. And that's the beauty of the circus. You know, we have people from all over the world. We have people from Romania. We have people from Russia. You know, Argentina, Mexico, Brazil in our flying. We must have 9 nations in our show.
Well, that's
and
wonderful.
I think that's, and Canada, you know, our acrobat artist was born right here in Toronto. So we have an international troupe, and we're really proud of them.
Do you have any other family currently in the show?
Not right now. My daughter, you know, I became a grandfather, so she took a little break.
Congratulations.
She is down she still trains. She has done aerial. She did the wheel with me for a while. My son is in school. So right now that's what's happening.
One of the people last night in the show, the clown, but he did some other acts too.
Yeah.
He looks a lot like you, especially
he's
at the
awesome.
very end when you guys close out together.
Yep.
He looks like your son.
Yeah, he's awesome, and we're so happy to have him with us. He's very young, and he comes from a multi-generational family. And
Like
I seen
you.
him down in Florida or on a tour somewhere, and seen him and said, "Wow, I think he'd be great for our Canadian families." And the kids love him. They can't wait for him to come back, And you see, he's not only a clown; he's a unicyclist.
Yeah, he's very talented.
He's juggling. He's doing everything. So yeah, it's great.
So the average span of a circus performer is how long?
You know what? It's for children of all ages. That's what I always say. But there is, everything physically, like any athlete or it's a matter of how long you feel like you look good in the show and you're doing your act at its best. That's why I kind of thought it was time to at least give the wheel, a retirement. But I still love being in front of the audience, and I've done illusions. Who knows? Maybe next year we're talking about bringing some magic back.
Oh, that'll be nice.
show.
Yeah, that'll be nice. So let me just ask you this. They come in very young. A lot of these performers are very young. Where do they go after like 5 or 10 years?
Well, they go all over the world. The flying trapeze artists we have were trained with Cirque du Soleil for many years and have toured with that show. And, circus school, there's over 300 circus schools in North America.
Wow.
So there's more than people really know. And I get asked all the time, how can my child, get involved? And I pass on the information. Just look for a circus school near you, They are out there. You just have to Google it.
And do they have like other professions too, and maybe just do this on the side?
Sure. Some of them, I've got a cousin who's a pilot, and he decided, I love the circus, but I think I want to do something else. Sure, that's the great thing. The circus is not going anywhere. It's always going to be here. We're the oldest form of family entertainment. It's never really been censored. And our show is a very family-oriented show, so I think it'll always be here. And if you decide you want to, my daughter was selling boats, big yachts, and things like that. You can manage both if you want to.
Okay, so that old adage, let's run away and join the circus. Run away and start again if I have, trouble in my life or have a record or whatever.
Join us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll find something for you to do. Okay. You can put on those beautiful gowns and help me.
I'd love that. Sorry, my eyes are watering really bad. It's very hot out today.
Oh, yeah, it's a little... we're dealing also with the issues with the smoke and stuff. And we had a camp show that we normally have children camps, and they had to cancel that and move it up to next week because it was Environment Canada said it wasn't.
Yeah, I know we've been battling that too. We went out filming almost every day this week, and it was outside a couple times, and I was struggling.
The air conditions in the big top actually helped us.
It was nice and cool in there.
It's very nice and cool in there. We have 6 units this year, so that's what makes it a comfortable place all the time.
Okay, so let's do some shameless promotion as we round out the interview, because you are going to be in town, in different parts of around the GTA until September 7th. If I did my homework correctly, let me name it all off. You're now in Vaughan, that's almost over. Then you're going to Scarborough, Markham, Newmarket, Burlington, Mississauga, and I forget, there's a couple other ones on
the best thing to do, royalcanadiancircus.ca, check it out. You can also buy your tickets right at the box office, the old traditional way. You don't have to go online if you don't want to, but royalcanadiancircus.ca shows every single location.
Yes. So again, it was a pleasure to sit down with you and have this interview.
It was good to see you again.
You
Surprised
too?
Me last night in the show. I was happy to see her.
I did. And as always, we wish you well. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Janette Burke, your host, signing off. Please remember to like, comment, and share all our posts. You will find us everywhere: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. That's the TV side. YouTube goes on every single platform. And then we've got the podcast side, which is also the radio side: iHeartRadio, Apple, Buzzsprout, BuzzFeed. For a complete list of where to watch and listen to us, please check the links in the show notes below. Please also remember that you can support us as one of two ways as we continue to bring you the best in content on the internet for savvy women over 40. We have t-shirts and sweatshirts in your favorite color, size, with either the JTV podcast logo and tagline, or an inspirational saying made by me and a previous guest in a previous episode. All orders include shipping and handling and are conveniently sent straight to your front door. We also have a Patreon account. No donation is too big or too small. Join us on our YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Sign up for Savvy by Janette's TV podcast e-publication. It comes out monthly, and it has all our segments, all our episodes, our giveaways, and so much more. Things you just don't want to miss. All those links are in the show notes below. And until next time, be fun, be savvy, be courageous, be at the circus this summer. Find the location closest to you. RoyalCanadianCircus.ca. Bye for now, and we'll see you soon.